नमस्ते चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. In Sanskrit, this highest stage is called prema. This is where we stopped yesterday. That when somebody progresses to the state of bhav, the permanent state of bhav, then um, the love of God becomes deeper and deeper, and finally it reaches the highest stage of love of Godhead. In Sanskrit, this highest stage is called prema. Prem can be defined as love of God without any expectation of exchange or return. So, what is prem? Prem is the love of God where there is no expectation of exchange or return. I am chanting and therefore I should feel ecstasy. This is also expecting in return. आश्लिष्य वा पाद्रतां पिनष्टु माम् अदर्शनानुमर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरः. This is the meditation of Mahaprabhu, that whether you embrace me, whether you push me away, whether you give me your darshan, you don't give me your darshan, even if I suffer in viraha, in separation, still you are my only worshipable Lord and Master. So that is prem, unconditional, no expectation of exchange or return. Yes, we have to continue begging that I want Krishna prem. Please give me Krishna prem. Please shower your causeless mercy upon me. After few years, I've been praying the same thing, but he's not showering anything. Abhi nahi karna hai. That means that we have always been expecting something in exchange and return. That is business. In prem, there is no business, no expectation of exchange or return. Just because I am loving you so much, I have given my everything. I have left my whole everything. I've left for Krishna. I've left for you. But you, where are you? I I still can't get any ecstasy. I can't see you. You have not given me darshan. You have not done any special miracle in my life. There is expectation of exchange or return. Actually, the words prem and love are not synonymous. Yet, one can still say that prema is the highest stage of love. Prem and love are not synonymous. So, highest stage of love is prema. One who has attained prem is the most perfect human being. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25 confirms this statement. Only by the association of pure devotees can a person develop a taste for Krishna consciousness. And when he tries to apply Krishna consciousness in his life, he can achieve everything up to the stage of bhav and prem. So one is by the association of pure devotees, what happens? The person develops the taste for Krishna consciousness. And then second is that when one applies that Krishna consciousness in their own life, then through that application, they can achieve everything up to the stage of bhav and prem. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu next described the symptoms of a person who has developed, I think this is who has developed from faith to the stage of bhav. Such a person is never agitated, even if there are causes for agitation. Nor does he waste his time, not even a moment. Avyartha kalatvam. Then what does he do? What is he doing by not wasting his time? He's constantly doing devotional service. He's either reading about the Lord, he's either reading Srimad Bhagavatam or chanting or listening to Kirtan or singing Kirtan for the Lord or cooking for the Lord, serving the Vaishnavas, something or the other, no wastage of time, not even a moment, avyartha kalatvam. He is always anxious to do something for Krishna. Even if he has no engagement, there is free time. He has done already everything. He has no engagement. He will find some work to do for Krishna's satisfaction. Nor does such a person like anything which is not connected with Krishna. Although he's situated in the best position, he does not hanker after praise. That means somebody situated in the best position is doing everything so wonderfully that automatically people will want to glorify him. He has done something best, given something best. So, normally what happens when we do something, we expect some appreciation, that somebody will come and appreciate us. But a this is talking about a person who is um, who has developed from faith to the stage of bhav. So a person in bhav platform, there is no cause for agitation. Oh, why people are not coming and telling me that, this what I've cooked is so tasty, is so nice, prasad is so nice. People should come and tell me. Or I've sung this kirtan, people should come and tell me, oh wow, what an amazing kirtan you have sung, Mataji, what an amazing kirtan you have sung, Prabhuji. Or I've done something. I've made this beautiful garland. Nobody has ever made a garland like this. People should come and tell me that, wow, what a garland. Why are they not telling me? So they are not hankering for anything. They don't hanker for any praise. They are situated in the best position, but they do not hanker after praise. He is confident in his work. He is never under the impression that he is not making progress towards the supreme goal of life, that is, going back to Godhead. A devotee is ashabadha, is always hopeful. A devotee never becomes morose and depressed at, oh, now I have no hope. Suicide is the only thing for me because I've made such a big mistake. Oh, I'm trying, but I can't do anything. I'm good for nothing. A devotee never thinks like this. A devotee, one quality of a devotee is the devotee is always ashabadha. Never mind. There may be so many anarthas, but I'm not depending on my own qualifications or my own disqualifications. I am dependent on the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord. And Krishna is Ati Dayamay. Krishna Bada Dayamay. So, uh, he's never under the impression, a devotee is never under the impression that he's not making progress because he's putting his best effort. And more importantly, he's following the instructions of the spiritual master. Therefore, there is no need to think that I'm not progressing in the supreme goal of life, that is going back to Godhead. Since he's fully convinced of his progress, okay, another thing is that does not mean that we become satisfied and proud that array now I am doing everything perfectly, so I am going to go back to Godhead. But now there is nothing to worry. We should not become lax like that. What it means is that somebody should not become morose that अरे कुछ नहीं हो रहा है from so many years. It's been 12 years I'm practicing Krishna consciousness. Nothing has happened in my life. No transformation. I have not. Other devotees, they're experiencing so many miracles and so many mercy, but I am not experiencing anything. No, there is no need to get morose. Actually, a devotee never thinks like this. A devotee always can see the hand of Krishna, the working of Krishna in everything that is happening in their life, whether it is so called good or so called bad, according to general people, whatever good or bad is happening. A devotee always knows that everything that is happening is always perfect and always best because it is Krishna's perfect plan. Krishna always has a plan. Krishna is the supreme proprietor. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And Krishna is my eternally supreme well wisher. A devotee has these three, he is confident about all these 3 points, and therefore a devotee never sees uh, anything bad happening in their life. Whatever is happening, they see it as a plan of Krishna, and their prayer is Krishna. I may not be able to see your plan or understand your plan, but surely you have a plan. Therefore, I am put in this situation. So please help me to become an instrument in your hands. Please help me to learn whatever you want to teach me through this experience. This is how a devotee sees situations, even reversals in life, or even trials in their own life. So, since he's fully convinced of his progress, he's always very busy achieving the highest goal. He's very much attached to gratifying the Lord, not gratifying one's own senses, but he's very much attached to gratifying the Lord and in chanting or hearing about the Lord. And he's always attached to describing the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. So that a devotee is always very attached. Whoever the devotee meets when something happens, their examples will also be related to Krishna and Krishna's pastimes, transcendental qualities of the Lord. Even if they have to scold someone, sometimes if somebody is in a position of an authoritative position where they have to manage some people, manage the other devotees, and there may be situations because they are the authoritative person, so they have to scold everybody to not everybody. I mean, if required, they may have to scold somebody to manage certain things. But uh, even in that, they will always come up with examples from the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Everything is related to the Lord, so they are very attached to describing the transcendental qualities of the Lord. They will never take any mundane examples. It is always about, see, in that pastime Krishna did this. See, in that pastime that devotee, this, and therefore the result was this. So even while explaining these examples will come up. And so next is he always wants to live in holy places like Mathura, Vrindavan, or Dwarka. Many people, they want to go and do picnic in Mathura, Vrindavan, Dwarka. They want to go to Jagannath Puri for the sea beach because let's go and enjoy at seaside. So let's, but the devotees, they want to live in these holy places. All these characteristics are visible in one who has developed to the stage of bhav. So these are the qualities of a devotee who have developed the stage of bhav. King Parikshit affords a good example of bhav. When sitting on the bank of Ganges, waiting to meet his death due to the curse of a Brahmin boy, he said, all the Brahmins present here, as well as Mother Ganges, Mother Ganga, should know that I am a soul completely surrendered to Krishna. I do not mind if I am immediately bitten by the snake sent by the Brahmin boy. Let the snake bite me as it likes. I shall be pleased if all of you present here will go on chanting the message of Krishna. So, what is the mood of Parikshit Maharaj? Parikshit Maharaj says that all the Brahmins who are seated here, Mother Ganga, you should know that I am soul surrendered to Krishna. So whether the snake comes and bites me right now, comes later, it doesn't matter to me. But what is the desire King Parikshit Maharaj is conveying here? That I shall be pleased if all of you present here will go on chanting the message of Krishna. It is not that when the snake bites, all of you start crying, oh, what happened? No, this was supposed to happen, and I'm ready to accept it any moment. I'm not worried about that. But please go on chanting the message of Krishna. That is what will please me. Such a devotee is always anxious to see that his time is not wasted in anything which is not connected with Krishna. Consequently, he does not like the benefits derived from fruitive activity, yogic meditation, or the cultivation of knowledge. He is simply attached to words favorably related to Krishna. Very, very important. He is simply attached to words favorably related to Krishna. Such pure devotees of the Supreme Lord always pray to Him with tears in their eyes. Their minds always recollect His activities, Krishna's activities. And the bodies of such devotees, they always offer obeisances to Lord Krishna. Thus, they are satisfied in this way. Any devotee who renders such devotional service dedicates his life and body for the purpose of the Supreme Lord. So, any devotee who is rendering devotional service like this, like how they are not wasting any time with things that are not connected with Krishna, they have They don't have any interest in fruitive activities or good results and pious activities. They have no interest in yogic meditation, cultivation of knowledge. That there should be gyan. When I speak, there should be a lot of gyan. Through gyan, I'm going to get self realization. They are not interested in all these things. He is simply attached to those words that are favorably related to Krishna. Many times when we want to, when we meet new people, right away if you start, you have just met someone, that person X doesn't even know me. You have simply met someone and you just go and say that, oh, you have come to the temple, very good, take this chanting beads, now start chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Arey, that person doesn't even know you, doesn't even know what is this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Maybe it is their anniversary, birthday, something. They may have thought, let us go to the temple. So preaching doesn't work that way. So for preaching, what is preaching? Preaching means trying to give Krishna consciousness to somebody. For that, if you have to speak two, three things which are not, which may apparently seem that are not connected with Krishna, but the intention is to give Krishna consciousness to that person. So that means that is, they are attached to words favorably related to Krishna. You may have to speak, oh, is this your first time you've come? Oh, very nice. Please come and have prasadam. Please come and join us in Kirtan. Let's dance together. Is it something special? So they may say that, yeah, it is our birthday or it is whatever. Oh, so you wish them, and so where are you talking about Krishna? Oh, why are you not chanting? Are you doing 16 rounds? You should do 16 rounds. No, we are not saying all those. Are you following the four regulative principles? Are you a non-vegetarian? Oh, you will go to hell. If you speak like that to somebody, they will never come in. Forget about coming to Krishna consciousness. They will never even come to the temple. And they will run away whenever they see somebody with a tilak and kantimala. That, are these people, they want to send us to hell. So therefore, a devotee is very intelligent. A devotee knows, okay, how we, therefore Krishna is very merciful. We all come from backgrounds. For others it's different, but I also come from a background where if somebody would tell me that you chant this mantra, I would not get convinced unless I, in my own life, I went through very, very severe distress. There are four kinds of people who take up Krishna consciousness, who take up this path of bhakti. One is those people who are in need of some finance, and or somebody is in distress, somebody in need of something, somebody is in utter distress, somebody who is curious, and somebody is who has a natural inclination and they want to know more about it, that okay, what is the purpose of human life. I belong to that category, who in utter distress, when there was no other way, and then my Path Pradaksha Guru uh, very, very kindly, compassionately told me about this, and I was like trying to grab something that can help me. So that is when I came into Krishna consciousness. So similarly, everybody in this world is suffering in some way or the other. So we should, as preachers or as assistants or as servants of our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu, our mood should be that if there is somebody new, first is to create a connection. Unless there is a connection, why would somebody want to even listen to you? So first is to create a connection from the heart, not fake, not vague, not just on the superficial level, but to set a connection, bonding. Yes, of course, if somebody, you come across someone that you understand that this person will never take up Krishna consciousness because they are very envious of Krishna, they have no faith, there is no shraddha is the currency. If somebody lacks this currency, then we should not waste our time is precious, our time is very, very precious. So therefore we should not waste our time. But if somebody is carrying that currency, then with our time, with our energy, with our intelligence, everything that Krishna is giving us, we should try to give Krishna consciousness to that person. Whatever wealth we have received from our Guru Parampara, from Srila Prabhupada, from the Vaishnavas, we should try to give that wealth to others. So, such are pure devotees of the Supreme Lord. They always pray to the Supreme Lord with tears in their eyes. They are always in the Dainya Bhav that I'm the most fallen. But at the same time, others are also suffering. So, please help me to serve you. Help, please make me an assistant in your mission. Their minds always recollect the activities of Lord Krishna. Man mana bhava mad bhakto. In the mind, they are always thinking of the various pastimes of Krishna, especially those pastimes which are naturally more, um, towards which we naturally feel more attracted, natural attachment towards certain activities of the Lord. And their bodies, the bodies of such devotees, pure devotees, they are always offering obeisances. With the body, they are always offering obeisances. Thus, they are satisfied. The pure devotees are always satisfied. Pure devotees are never hankering for anything for their personal need, but they are always worried about the sufferings of others, like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj had prayed that when Lord Narsimha asked Prahlad Maharaj that please tell me what boon do you want? What do you want? Please ask me anything. I'm so pleased with your devotion. Prahlad Maharaj said that he said I don't want anything. Again Narsimha Dev said no, you ask something. So Prahlad Maharaj said that if you want to give me something, then give me this blessing that I never ask anything from you because I don't want any business dealings with you. And second thing he said is that unless there are all these people, they are all suffering. Unless all their sufferings end and they go back to your spiritual world, to the spiritual world, I want to stay here and I want to pray for them. I want to preach to them. I don't want to go back to the spiritual world and enjoy myself, leaving all these suffering souls behind. That was the prayer of Prahlad Maharaj. So that is the mood of the pure devotees. So we'll pause here for today, and Krishna willing, we'll continue reading tomorrow again. Thank you very much for a very wonderful association. In your wonderful association, you inspire me to speak of all the Krishna Katha, and it is because of your association that I can remember all these things. So I'm very, very grateful to all of you. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री श्रीमद शिला जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी महाराज की जय श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय टीचिंग्स ऑफ लॉर्ड चैतन्य बुक की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल
बोल श्री श्यामा करुणामयी माता जी की जय। हरि बोल।
नित्यानंद गौरांग कुटी भक्त वृंद की जय।